Hey guys, what's going on? Officer Tyler here. So we're gonna start off episode 2 kind of with a little bit of a splash. Literally with a splash. So basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go change out of this uniform, get into some soft clothes. We're gonna take the cars to the car wash. We're gonna clean the motorcycles, and we're gonna get ready to shoot some footage for you guys. And we have Hey, it's Officer Tyler here. I'm at Hafner's car wash in Littleton. I'm here with Kevin right now.
Hey, what's going on?
Kevin, we're doing a vlog here, just showing everybody where we get our cars cleaned on the regular. And this is the best spot we have. You guys do a fantastic job. I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you very much.
So let's go in. I bet you guys didn't think you'd be coming into a car wash watching a police vlog, but here we are. It's very important that we keep our cars maintained, keep them clean, and keep them professional looking. So there wouldn't be a vlog about our vehicles and our fleet without taking you guys through a car wash. So right now we're in the locker room. We're going to be heading to the garage, and then we're going to be meeting up with the Chief of Police, Chief Warren Ryder. Looks like he should be coming out soon. This is one of our cruisers right here. We're going to be going over that in depth, and it looks like the Chief is coming down right now. Oh, he's even giving us a little show with his lights. Very nice, very nice. Now that's a touch.
What's up, Tyler?
How you doing, Chief?
Good day in paradise here.
I hear you there. Hey, Chief, how are you? Thanks for taking the time out of your day for this. Everybody, this is Chief Warren Ryder. He is the man here. So he's our special guest today. Privileged to be here. And he's going to be showing us exactly what we have with our fleet. He's the man behind a lot of this, so.
Sure, come on. So we have marked, unmarked vehicles, motorcycles. The primary response vehicle for the Boxborough Police is a marked patrol car. Some of our older cars are the Ford Explorers. Come take a look inside. I'll show you what we have in the Ford Explorers.
Now, Chief, what year is this model right here?
This is a 2017. You can always tell what model car we're driving by the number. The first number is the year of the car, and then the number after that is the number of vehicles we got that year.
Awesome.
That helps us track because they all look the same. It's hard sometimes to figure out which ones we're getting. This is a special purpose vehicle built specially from Ford for the purpose of police work. As you can tell, the interior on this car is a little bit tighter. We have to put a half cage in it to allow the officers enough room. When you have a gun belt and a bulletproof vest on, things get a little snug in here. And considering you spend at least 8 hours a day in here, you want to be as comfortable as possible. Every cruiser is set up essentially with the same equipment, starting from the top, a radar unit, both forward and back, computer system that gives us access to the criminal justice information system, in-house computer system, so we know where we're going on calls, see call data, we can talk back and forth to dispatch on a secured line that's not over the airwaves. Our sirens set up, our emergency lights, and then our two-way radio. Every vehicle is also equipped with a printer that's usually under the armrest, so we can do electronic ticketing.
So Chief, I noticed that we have computers in the cruisers. Can you just explain what those computers are for and the type of software that we use?
Sure. So this is our CAD system, which is a computer-aided dispatch. As soon as a 911 call is received in dispatch, they enter the call information, the location. That sends all the information to the responding units. Both police, fire, and ambulance have the same computer system, so we can see as calls are coming in where to respond to. It also tells us about the information about where the call is, if there's any hazards that we need to know about the location, known suspects, problems that we need to be aware of. So information is key. It also provides us with instant access to registry motor vehicle data, so we can check to see a person's license plate, the license status. There's a barcode scanner on the side of the computer. They can run the barcode license on that as opposed to typing everything in. They can also talk back and forth to each other on the computer systems.
So right now we're looking at the light controller. Basically this helps turn on our emergency lights. It helps activate our sirens and whatnot. Can you just explain a little bit, Chief, about this and the different types of noises we have for certain situations?
All they have to do is slide this over to the third position. They have forward lights, reverse lights, and then to activate the siren, they can use the horn or use the buttons. That's one of my favorites. Gets everyone's attention.
It's pretty neat. The kids must love that in the community.
Oh, they do. So as police officers, we're trained to expect that no one sees us. Just because we have all these lights flashing and these 200 watts of siren power going out there, people are going to do unexpected things. They're going to drive at their normal speed. They're going to jack on their brakes the last second when they see you, or they're going to maybe swerve in front of you because they think you're coming from that direction. So all these things that we have to be on our toes about. So just because we have all this stuff, it doesn't always mean that we're safe.
Absolutely, and really no excuse. People should be able to get out of the way here in this thing coming.
We do have a law in the state called move over.
So we just looked at the 2017 Ford Explorer. The thing's awesome. I've driven it for a numerous amount of years, but now we're transitioning over to the Chevy Tahoe. Wait till you see this thing. All right, Chief, what are we looking at here? This car, I mean, this thing is mean looking. This thing is nice. It's nice and big. It looks comfortable.
Well, it is big. It's a Chevrolet Tahoe, 2019. We transitioned over to the Chevrolet Tahoes a few years ago, and we're slowly replacing. Our last two vehicles get replaced this year, and then we'll have a full fleet of Chevrolet Tahoes. The reason we went with the Chevrolet Tahoes is because it's actually a truck frame. Heavy duty brakes, heavy duty suspension. They're meant to last, and you know, typically out of a Ford, we're getting 100 to 120,000 miles useful life as patrol. Chevrolet Tahoes, we have a 2011 Tahoe currently with 175,000 miles. It's tired, but she's still moving.
Wow.
So that's impressive. And for a small community, we're looking at our return on investment. Obviously, the return on investment's here.
Again, too, you know, being in the Northeast, the Chevy must be great in the snow. I know personally, you know, driving this vehicle as well, it's tremendous in the snow compared to the Ford Explorer.
That's true. The Ford Explorer is an all-wheel drive vehicle. The police package Chevy Tahoe is a true four-wheel drive vehicle. So the officer can control whether he wants it in automatic mode like the Ford Explorers, where it's all-wheel drive, or they want to engage the actual four-wheel drive. Rural New England, we have to get places sometimes that are not plowed or they're not even paved roads. So this allows us to get to wherever we need to go. They're not exactly the most agile vehicles in the world, but they get us there safely.
So right now we're looking at the inside of the Chevy Tahoe. This thing is big, this thing is comfy, this helps with backs, this helps with, you know, getting in the cruiser with your duty belt. This thing is the real deal, and this is actually the vehicle that I use on patrol. So Chief, why don't you tell us a little bit about a little bit about the inside of the Chevy Tahoe here.
Sure. So the interior is set up almost identical to the Ford Explorers, and that's by design, so the officer always knows where everything is without actually looking, keeping his eyes on the road and being safe. Computer systems, the emergency lighting system, radar, radios, printers for the computer system, everything's the same. One of the really nice things about the Chevy Tahoe is whenever an officer goes on a call or writes a ticket, the vehicle actually produces a treat for the officer. Many people don't know this, but there's a hidden compartment in this vehicle that allows the officer, once he's done with his call, he pushes a secret button on the console here, and there it is, every time.
Ah, Chief, that's exactly what we do.
Strawberry frosted.
Look at that. That is perfect.
I'll leave that for the next guy.
Being in this cruiser every day for patrol, you would think I wouldn't make this mistake, but I've locked myself in the rear of the Tahoe.
Sir, you locked in.
Thanks, Chief. Woo! It's hot in there. It's about 87 degrees out today. It's a hot one. Spring is leaving us and summer is upon us. So, Chief, looking at the back of the Tahoe where the detainees sit, it looks a lot different than the Ford Explorer. Can you explain this a little bit?
Well, a couple things that you'll see with this is, one, there's actually leg room for the detainee, so it's a comfortable, safe ride. You're going to notice seat belts have been moved over so we can gain access to them safely without reaching too much in front of the suspects. The seats are designed to be hosed out and cleaned, just in case there's an event back here that's not favorable for the rest of your shift. You can clean it out. The cage protects the officer from the detainee in the event that something was missed on a pat down or they came loose in their handcuffs. We don't want them going anywhere near the operator of this vehicle while they're being transported back to jail. The officer can slide the window, speak to the detainee, and this vehicle can transport 2 detainees at the same time.
Yeah, this is nice, and it's a comfy ride for our guests. Chief, I'm looking at the back of the Tahoe right now, and there looks like a lot of room back there for storage, which is a huge difference compared to the Explorer.
We are first responders. We have to be prepared for anything that's going to come our way. As first responders, we're generally the first ones on scene of medical calls, so we do carry a full medical kit, oxygen, ice packs, gauze pads, whatever we might need to temporarily provide aid to somebody until medics got there. And this back here is for our weapon systems. This is where we would hold our rifles, shotguns, or any other special weapons that we may have for the task that we're doing.
So now that you saw the Chevy Tahoe and the Explorer, let's go take a look at our motor units right now. These things are out of control and they're my favorite. Chief, I know the motor unit is probably one of my favorite things within the police department. I certainly know it's yours as well. Being the commander of the Semlec motor unit, can you tell us a little bit about these motorcycles?
Sure. So these are both Harley-Davidson police special motorcycles. We do use the full fairing on this. Provides the rider a little bit extra protection from rock debris or anything else that may come up. This is a 2015 version, and this is a 2020, brand new. Just got that a few months ago. Absolute pleasure to ride. These motorcycles are not that much different than your typical motorcycle that you can get at your Harley-Davidson dealership. Obviously, instead of riding lights here, we have blue lights. We have blue lights here, blue lights on the intersection lights. Essentially, 360 degrees around the motorcycle is covered with emergency lighting. There's also a siren, usually located in the same spot on every motorcycle. That's just to give the rider an extra advantage to get people's attention. Once again, just like the cars, no matter what we do, we have to assume that nobody sees us.
Now, Chief, I noticed that this engine right here has a 114 on it, whereas the other one over here has a 107. Can you explain that a little bit? What does that even mean?
Sure. So Harley-Davidson has different engine sizes, and every year as they advance their new models, the engines seem to get a little bit bigger. So this has a 114, which is 114 cubic inches size cylinder on the motorcycle, where that one has a 107. Older bikes went down to a 103 and then smaller from there. The power is not necessarily for speed, it's for us, the ability to clear an intersection quickly, to get out of the way of danger, or to cross a roadway. So it's important for us to have enough power that we can do what we need to do safely.
Stay tuned for more on the motor unit. We're gonna have a whole nother episode on that. It gets into depth in regards to the Semlec motor unit, the regional team, and what it takes to be a motor unit officer. It's super hard, but that'll be on another episode. All right, Chief, I got to see what's in your car. I saw you driving down earlier, and I got to see what's in there. It looks unbelievable. The outside of the Tahoe, it's just, man, is that sharp. That is a slick looking car.
It is a good looking car. There's really not a whole lot special about this vehicle. This is your typical civilian version Tahoe. It's the bottom model that you can get. But since we have Tahoes in the fleet, this was a good alternative for administration. A lot of people ask me, why do I have a vehicle that's not marked as a police car? Well, the simple answer is I'm required to be on duty 24 hours a day. So when I leave work at the end of the day and I stop and get some groceries or out doing something else, if I'm required to get back to work, I have means to get back safely in a department vehicle.
Being a chief of police, I find that to be very necessary. Because, you know, you are the head of the department, and if something happens at work, if there's a serious incident that goes on, you need to be here. Whether it's for PR, whether it's for support, it's very important. So having a take-home car as the chief of police is very important.
That's right. So I carry everything with me that I might need in the middle of the night, on a Sunday afternoon, when I'm not prepared to go on a call. I have everything here to make me prepared. The vehicle itself, like I said, standard Chevrolet Tahoe. The only difference is on the inside, we don't have a computer system. The radio is covert, so it can be tucked down and away. And then we have the light controllers here. And again, this vehicle is equipped with 360 degrees of lighting protection.
All right, Chief. Hey, it's been a pleasure.
No problem, man.
It's been a pleasure. And thank you for everything you do. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know you're busy, especially with this COVID-19 event going on. Can't thank you enough for being able to show us and show all the subscribers what our fleet's made of.
That's right. Like, subscribe, and follow.
You got it, Chief. There it is. See that? Chief's a vlogger too. There's absolutely nothing better than the sound of a Harley. Everybody, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode. I'm gonna go gear up and get on one of the bikes and go for a ride. Everyone be safe. Take care.